Hello and welcome to another episode of How to Pixelmon, where I really like these vines. Whee! Anyway, today we are going to go over these grass starter Pokemon. We got Venusaur and Meganium with us today, and we are going to kill this Voltorb with them Petal Dance. That's right, Venusaur. Anyway, so yeah, we have, of course, Venusaur and Meganium. Pretty much the shinies, just make them yellower versions of themselves. And this one is so very tiny and cute. Now, before we get started, I do want to say something about grass Pokemon. Now, normally, I don't use them on my teams. I am not a fan of grass Pokemon. Regardless, I am going to still, give you guys the lessons you deserve and teach you how to use grass Pokemon starters. Because, although I don't really like using grass Pokemon, the starters are definitely the cream of the crop. In fact, some of them are growing crops on their back. So, pretty much the reason I don't like them is because you can do other things. Well, you don't need grass type to kill things because grass is good against water, rock, and ground. Well, you can use ground to be good against rock, which you're going to probably want ground moves on your team. And you're probably going to want like an electric move on your team, and that'll take out the water. And, it's just so many other things you could do besides grass. Like, the best reason for grass is Swampert. Anyway, I digress. Let's go over some of these guys. So if you do choose to use them, you can. I'm not saying they're bad. I just don't prefer them, personally. So we're going to start with Venusaur here. Venusaur is definitely good for its special attack and special defense. Now, it doesn't really have a lot of attack power, not a lot of speed, but it is pretty balanced around all its stats, so you can make work out of it whatever you would like to do. Now, we're going to look at a moveset for this one, and look, it's pretty grass move intensive. You could teach it some other moves like Hyper Beam or something, but there's not a lot of moves that it can learn. Most importantly, you're going to want Petal Dance as your strongest grass move and Sludge Bomb as your strongest poison move. Definitely having the stabs from those two types, you can put out a good amount of damage and probably take a hit if it's the right special attack. Now, if you want to really enforce your defense there, if you say get a special defense one and you want to train it in special defense, you're definitely going to want to have Sleep Powder and Synthesis. Because Synthesis will heal you back up when you take some damage. Sleep Powder, it will definitely be fun to keep them asleep while you're healing yourself up and hurting them more, if you need to do such a thing. Now, because it has Petal Dance, one thing I would suggest is, well, both of these Pokemon are going to use Petal Dance, so I'm going to suggest that you use Metronomes on them. Because Petal Dance, it forces you into using that for 3 turns, just like Thrash, just like Outrage. Now, if you're already stuck using the move, why not have it increase every turn you use it? It only seems to make sense. Of course, you could also use a choice item if you would like to. A choice scarf will make it fast enough to outspeed most. And a choice spec will make it pretty much one-shot just about anything grass is decent against. So that's how that goes. Of course, on the Meganium. Meganium is a even more limited moveset, but we got a Petal Dance here. Energy Ball if you don't want to go with the commitment to use that. Meganium actually, let's take a look at his stats. He's good at special defense and physical defense, so he's all around tanky, but he's not incredibly tanky. I would definitely say that Meganium's probably the weakest of the grass starters. Which is unfortunate, because I kind of like Bayleaf, but, there's not really a point in using them anyway. So he doesn't have very good speed or attack, obviously, but the thing is, his attack is nearly the same as his special defense. Therefore, if you want to put physical attacks on him, go ahead. You're probably not going to train either special attack or physical attack anyway. So, Body Slam is not going to hurt. You can paralyze them, give yourself time to use Synthesis. And of course, if you wanted to switch Energy Ball with a nice trolley move such as Swagger, or Attract, you can go ahead and do so, or another move if you see fit. But we're also going to take a look at this Venusaur, which we have leftovers on because it's going to be a bit more of a trollier one. We still have Petal Dance, yes, but we have Leech Seed and Sleep Powder, so we're going to try to keep it down. Meanwhile, while it's sleeping, we're going to spam Growth. Now we're going to spam Growth to increase our own special attack stat, meaning once we get out of that, this Petal Dance will kill everything in its path. So that'll definitely be a very effective method. That way you will have very strong attacks coming from Venusaur. Only downside is it will be able to be outsped. However, if you do want to train Venusaur in speed, it's not a terrible idea. You can go ahead and do it. But I would probably train it for special attack, special defense, and probably go with the first setup. But either way, you can go ahead and do what you want. Either of these will definitely be a grass Pokemon on your team. I was about to say a good grass type. Maybe not Meganium. I wouldn't suggest it. But if you do like Meganium specifically, don't let my words stop you from training one and putting it on your team regardless. Anyway, that's going to be the end of this episode. Next time we're going to go over the other 3 grass starters and go over them. I actually do like those ones a little bit better. Well, at least 2 of them. So, I will see you guys next time. Hopefully, you've learned a little bit about these grass types, and I will, well, I said see you next time. So, goodbye!